woboy nature drum and the ewiabere ma ensami otwogu akwemu okin Kenya morosomu and the ewiabere isn't a mejedo aranyana Ejata Kwabena Dodona from Ejata Koko school time was porcupine Afe in Samano Ninchemu Oni Se amafo bakaya edanu yada ena ntawantawana mantamawasibi Oma no modo ewo infinifini mantomu oye Wesley Girls Senior High School na nina nyine de ababa wobi oye kremuni enoko school ewo ho na school ne ehye de onye wonfo no hunhye oye won sombi meche Methodist som no wonfo enhye mu bi ena wo chem de oye de manache de 88 abofo ne fa ho do na abofo ne kremuni a ne hunye de obokọ oye e Christian fo won ensom na odokọ ene de school no so se de bida ye mission school ye Muslim school Enti sorban kotin da na ona de ne hu benya pa de odno be hye ye nenza ma ye ne mu san ne mpanfu bu bebi de ekọ Roma fu ye no ye bi ana na mdo ema nsan be ye de ja wo man Ghana ha wotwe ne sre na basa ema ababa we ne papa ed otebiri asam no ozekopọ mu ewo Supreme Court na chede ko kekese mu no ewo eno da asam no oda akada no wan de wonke bi mfama ne osende Ghana ha de obia wo akonya wo ade biara ope ehom enti oyde na oba na dam na de mensam na mdo ema omanpahin Yewra Yohane Dramani Mahama wabakasa afa wono ochem dem what's there abrente bi na pa bi akofali case was Supreme Court etia oye Wesley Girls Senior High School also afe na Supreme Court no wo ba aba ginado na webun ata na obaka won asam afa ho no manpene di onyi asem bia eka won ho na enwum se mes masa na akoda no court no de yenje bibia ma court na court san kasa won si won gina ye na atan bia won bia na da mo bia no wetum ede aba pado.
We took note that somebody filed a case before the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is yet to pronounce on that issue. But if you read what the faith-based organizations agreed in their own MOU, I don't see any point of dispute. They all accept that if there's a mission school, it has its faith orientation. But within that faith orientation, there must be recognition of diversity. It's right there in the MOU. So I don't want to suggest it, but I think the Supreme Court has its work cut out for it because the same people have signed an MOU, and so I don't see what the contention there is. And there's even a place that talks about fasting, because Christians fast, Muslims fast. You can find a Christian student in a Muslim school or a Muslim student in a Christian school, and it talks about whether they should be allowed to fast. And it says that yes, the student can fast if the parents inform the school that they want their ward to fast. And if there's any health consequences from the fasting, the responsibility shall be that of the parent and not the school. I mean, that's clear enough, So I think that is something that we can be proud of. And I want to congratulate the Peace Council for being the facilitators of that understanding between the faith-based.
Na ya tuwado na insam Korea mono omanpahin Yewra Yohane Dramani Mahama okasa samanfo baka ya nanse yara ene eku enimpa baye nwotwe ne nechi wode petihan akwamo omanpahin Mahama dem Office of the Special Prosecutor no won hwe na wonyi emfiwo na Yewra kisi agebe no krampo no won pam no emfi na so ne okra osande won dem for subiada enyi edwuma orye no hom fitin fitapepepe obatina na so ne wono na katase hye dwumidie kankan no proye dwuma de hye nansa de omhwe no de dwuma na amanfo a wode won for the mensem no asotwe biada wo no won fama won no bepem the mabi onyada yewura oye kisi ajiben wetum etu anamon de menti ena ekui wadam petition koma omanpanyin yewura Yohane Dramani Mahamade onsi ejina ye emfa ho na onamodo ema asami kupu mu wo man Ghana embrehye bedwumu fie ehwo no yewura Nelson Roxon oye damashepom ono eye embrehye bedwumu ne de madehya wo South Dayi one edom kase won bada no nyin owura Mahama Ayariga waka wonti bom no won so do Africa ser kodem won hwe na office of the special prosecutor no won yi enfemfiri ho na ehu hiam onamodo emene da omampanyin Mahama akasa no enodo to go no chem dem say wakada won yi office of the special prosecutor enfiwa na the one to na so ne mu oye bibia sabil on tasum anampo de onhye de endi mudam enti ne hu hia dem wobotum nemom odo office ntum ye adwuma na asotwe wo wode mankrofo na woni zina abada pado de wode wo ahye katasese dwumidie kanka na proye no da mankrofo ni hina no empanyinfo no mbratum won won hwe papa nti ehu hia de office of the special prosecutor no wobotum emprempen.
The people of Ghana will not forgive us if people develop impunity in terms of abusing the trust that people have put in them. And so that's why we're resourcing the Economic and Organized Crime Office and the other anti-corruption institutions, including the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And recently, there have been some controversy with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. I think it's premature to call for the closure of that office. The unique thing about that office is it is the only anti-corruption agency that has prosecutorial powers to be able to prosecute themselves without going through the Attorney General. And so people had mistrust with the Attorney General because the Attorney General normally is a member of government and is a minister of state. And so they believe that the Attorney General will be very reluctant to prosecute his own. But if there's an independent office like the Office of the Special Prosecutor, it won't matter who you are because they have security of tenure and they have prosecutorial powers, whether you're a member of government or you're a member of a previous government or you are anybody who has, misappropriated public funds. They have the law is behind them to be able to prosecute you. So I think we should give them a little time. Of course, people want to see, more prosecutions and more results. And so I'll just urge the OSP to speed up, some of these investigations and, show people that the office is still very relevant.
Yatwa and some no do. Na yakonsam nsemi foforo mu so a afe apeme bie na edu onkonom no na yerbe bi ye ne tiri kodie wiereba oyiniti ewo wiase afana ne hinada na yaba ne hyase efri China memu mechre COVID-19 kodie wiereba yi obopemu ewo China mu oye November obosum ne mu wafe apeme bie ne dunkonom no na omene homodo ewo China na kaka no obopemu o man Ghana ema Ghana ye kro won lockdown baye na wotwe baasa enkan krodium na ye hyedem ye mpo enko bebia ye hyedem amanfo ezbanen na community waman fude na ban hu yana says yara de mesma COVID wa ban na yesa yinsu de o ma yeninsu fidi wa ma yankande ye fidi na chere ye nyan ye nto ye ntua odeche ni fidi ampa no da mabre no na ye kane mampanyin ye wura na nado dan kwakufu ado eno ye mampanyin na onu ze nyim ehwe kwan ba fodo boboa ama COVID-19 kodie we be obotum wafi omani mum na onam de minti no onam minsu fidi eno ne kande fidi ya wodere mehyeni ntino ode oye etu bi beya oye 1% COVID-19 levy ode beya orboto to oman Ghana yenedo na onamdo ema afe apeme bi ne duenu esia akomasi kodokoto go oman Ghana mbrehye bedwumu fie ayera council ato force ni tenim no wakase no wodu to go chem dem oye ada COVID-19 levy no wobeyi efiwo na wode ose ayoyo ema enedam Ghana man panyin yewura Yohane Dramani Mahama oznesa shankrata yasa oye COVID-19 levy no oshe ema woyi efiwo.
This is the COVID Health Recovery Levy Repeal Act 2025. And it's my honor and privilege to sign to repeal the COVID levy. Promise made, promise delivered. And today is the 10th of December, 2025. Signed. Purported to provide free water, free electricity, free food, and a lot of things. And to the shock of most Ghanaians after the pandemic was over and after the elections were over, government slapped Ghanaians with a 1% value-added tax, ostensibly to recover what it's supposed to have spent on the COVID pandemic. Ghana continued to remain one of the only countries where we're being taxed for a pandemic that had passed. And so during the election, we promised that when the NDC comes to power, the COVID levy is one of those who repeal. A lot of Ghanaians have disliked this tax, and today I'm pleased that on the 10th of December 2025, I've signed the repeal act to remove the 1% COVID levy.
Yetwa and some no do Oman na bezechi nan obi Oman na bezechi oye onimnyamfo Jane na opoku ajemana ono nso akasa na za tugwa achemde oye national decentralization policy and strategy jumedi no oye ada emprempenye kese wode abane ewieye na ose beye mfisia popo edwenani aye kanin for decade ni Ghana yabo ye humazo no pa da yede ye na wonten ebehye ye ne local government system ne mu na ye ze ye bian wetum akonkan ye pa na okaso jumedi na asano eno chemde oye nhye awodo a wo na ne wo beye etapoa amajumedi no etum ACP.
It is the first meeting of the Interministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization since this government took office, so it's very important for us. The meeting enables us to reaffirm our commitment to placing decentralization at the heart of development and accountable governance in line with our Constitution. I am pleased to know that today's meeting includes an orientation session. This is designed to give all of us, especially our ministers, a clear understanding of the National Decentralization Policy Framework and Strategy, the workings of the IMCC, and the key decentralization reform agenda, and as well the strategic approaches we will employ to implement them effectively. For nearly 4 decades, Ghana has made deliberate efforts to strengthen our local governance system. The establishment of the IMCC in 2010 was a way to recognize that a single ministry cannot achieve decentralization. This requires a wider approach anchored on coordinated and sustained leadership from all the sectors whose mandates interface with local development and service delivery. The IMCC remains a national institutional mechanism for intersectoral policy coordination and for the decentralized local governance system. We have learned that this committee met regularly, or in the past when it met regularly, we made significant progress. Indeed, between 2010 and 2016, the IMCC successfully resolved some of the most difficult reform challenges.
Yemfree Mame Jane Opoku Ajemane Asoni Yanko Oswafa Oshene Akwentu Enayene Dada Akwentu mu ensamu na onimnyamfo Joseph Bwakari Nekpe Oze abotugwa achemude aban eyi oye asan ahodo nwotwe edem ma mbiambia ahodo ebinom wona wo fi Madina Adenta na nkwado no wamo na asan ahodo beye nwotwe wona wo fi oye Kasua na nkwado no so wamo na asan awotwe ena afen so oye achimota na amasama kwantempanfu so no enwon so wamo ne basasa ahodo beye nwotwe na ne nyina botani nyina onye ne de mesmo boboa ema traffic anapo de enipo bodom bobo pedo ewo krom e maka ho ye den ma odin sam bebreba no nyina botum abrase de menti na mpanyinfo anada aban no wes de megina ye de wode ye nadwumedi wo shase ende da oye December bosom na dotodo edum afi apime bi ne duenu enum mu na wo chema oye enwumbru bia no no nane mpemu kosi na wo twempemu na de medwumedi no wo be hye ase
that we are going to employ some buses commencing from today, 10th December, and we will ensure that those buses are available at the peak hours to support our commuters who have closed from work to get home safely. And the Ministry of Transport is doing this in collaboration with the Intercity STC. Some of their long route vehicles return at good times and their schedules are for the next day. We are ensuring that we mop up all those vehicles and ensure that they are on our routes. So for now, we have identified 4 major corridors that we are going to deploy a minimum of 8 buses to each of the corridors. We are working to ensure that we increase the number of buses such that we'll be able to pick all our commuters home safely. And those corridors are the Accra-Madina-Adenta corridor. They will have a minimum of 8 buses starting from today at 4:30 p.m. to 8:30. That will be the operational period. We also have Accra-Achimota Amasamai. They will also have a minimum of 8 buses that will also start operations today from 4:30 to 8:30 in the evenings. We also have Accra Malam Kaswa route that will also have a minimum of 8 buses that will also start operations at peak hours from 4:30 to 8:30 p.m. And the last route we have identified is the Accra Tama Beach route that leads to Tama. It will also have a minimum of 8 buses that will also operate between the hours of 4:30 to 8:30. This is an interim or emergency deployment of buses to help salvage the situation.
Ebusuya yatwa ensamdo na wama wanswada enodo tugwa chemude yawo enimpa binim wo hɔ a na ahyankafo etitu no ebinim ayaso breche pa wo man Ghana ha se odru baby anu nwe no ho akye no na che de lorry fe no we pagima akosoro lorry fe na mpanyimfo nje ntum no no reje te de da ne yade obi ejinamu Accra ekoka asoa 30 cities aba utumi ade no nature the oleje fen pepe heche de oleje fen mpene baasa ani na no ontwe ye entonamdo ema yera Joseph Bukari nekpe odabo to go achem de what the number be to gwa na wada aboa into set the driver ni bi na the mate ni bi oleje o fe bia ehun hia ana wanyim de fe no oleje no kala kotwe no oleje no wo sisi pa for them number no na nwan kasa so one bra na asotwe bia ho bia no one farmer one.
At the same time, want to appeal to our drivers. It is not a jungle that we are living in that we don't respect our laws. We want to create the atmosphere for them to be able to conduct their business in a fair and friendly manner. But this way of taking advantage of our commuters, we are saying we will not accept that anymore. So I want to appeal to the general public that if they are listening to me, they take notice of these numbers we are going to put, that they can support us, they can assist us by reporting such drivers who do not want to live under the conditions that we have given to ourselves to operate. The numbers we have here are 0243 062953. For emphasis, 024 306 2953. The second number we have is the guards commander, and he is one of GPRTU's officers who is responsible for compliance. He's also part of the task force. And the number here is 024 865 803. For emphasis, 024 866 5803. These are the numbers we are giving to the general public and want to appeal to you to help report such situations through these numbers for us to be able to take immediate sanctions.
Abusia enti yeyere Joseph Bukari Nekpe enti se bia wono antia ose se yehwe ne akwan na akwantempondo ye wa ashankafo a waje karakotue bia hu hia da waje the menkrofo no wo wasotwe dem ho nti se efo car another efo shen bi na se waju sike bia onsen fata bomazo na frɛ mpanyinfo no wo 024 3062 953 024 3062 953. Afen so what the oye payinu kubisu number kamwa no so able to my friend oye 024 866 5803 024 866 5803. But wasn't friend efra eso mofokal kwa heyo driver na agye mobile enti mama nieni asotwe obia no wode ebama ohyenkenu no na Ghana warrior ma waka won wo papa yamfa kasebo no nkɔwie ɛwɔ Asante Mantomum oye Asante Mantomum Regional Police Command DCOP Arthur Osei Akoto wapa dwumezi bi wontam oboboa na wa bambo sam etumegina brane wo Asante Mantomum wa bra ye bedi bronyen na ye begye nwen mu no enti no da medwumedi aba na okasa no ena ochem dem bronye bre ye romi akosua mansa ya bedu maame ya enama mehu de asimo siridi nsamboni bi anada wunu ebiri ya do onya menfa nhya wutamu ment na do menfa nhya wuchawo mu na ensua menfa ngu kopo mu na mbuodo infense wo bwedo kan ma obiante zebo hu bia baka kire apostle no dem me ye ken what's there say what you see and what you see say it enti ni na no ekokan ubi ema obua ema bambo sam tumigina brand enti say hu bibi na sanka na de hye wutam a ono de wa wujejireje no wie na odo to go no orichem dem osre Ghana fo so aye wutwa apostle father pa won so ntwa won adapai adapetwa no obeja atum nanso ekwan bi wo a wakansam go apostle fo fion sem fata wutumo bo na adapaya mansam bi onyum krampo na woreka enti wie na oda foto so komansam twofo de wasran ne papa ensam bi wo a yembo hu de wur yemfama afofrofo na wanti na ombo omano.
Security issues ni yeguso started with traffic ade a hadwen wo Ashanti region, especially Kumase Business Center no den pa ye nyina ya tu ye ho si ho se ye bebo ama traffic no flow afenzu enim se Christmas ba se ya abonefo akromfo na eurukafo take advantage enti ye two police for agum bebre a ebi she plain clothes ebi she uniform a o mbeboa abo kro ne ho ban any region ne ho ban enti ye ka kire atemamu for say monso momboa yen na yentumi mo oman ne ho ban ye sere so obi a wo hu bibia ka hu bibi kire yen if you see something say something wo hu bibi na enkoso ye na ha security a my asonte ye betu America na ye de ye atu ye enti central phone so ye besere mo na maka ye ho ye yam from so a mon kan kire but mon criticizing wo odom mon criticizing embu abam. We are ready for your criticisms mama criticisms namra but emra wo odom emra internetinimu na yenyina yentmetene na yenhu yentmenye oman pa yenyina ya hwehwe no yenyina ntime mo ho bra.
DCOP Arthur Osei Akoto Ashanti Regional Police Command and etin nka no ɔse say criticize one criticize one wɔ dɔ mu yɛbɔ one kwedu yɛbɔ one somba yɛn for dɔ ɛmbɔ one sombo ɔkyɛ dɛ ɛyɛ baatan bi a ne be kizibwan ɔbro ne wia na wabam no atar na koko dɛm na wɔ pa kyɛ dɛ yɛnyɛ ɛmfam hwan aha ɛna ɛmbro no ba makwan mamade ewia ber ebusia kase akan kase bono mezibesi amom asadan koma big family multimedia institute BFM Store Trustees Network Group Center for Trade and afin so I want to AA Construction Works and want no way nature dom and there area bri mansami mezebrown asadan koma akosia adepa Otina if nature no dem tum Facebook ma wosunye bi adaji itei na ehwe as a hien akin Kenya musumu ebiabiri iziniye ejata kobana dada na from ejata kokko school time was pie bema we na mo mesansu mo tea mo hwa adeshi makra one.
Tune it in.